Welcome back to the Scoreboard. Now, we have been taking a look at what's happening around the world in terms of the news of the week. And then, of course, we've invited you for a comment as well, and you can make them on our Twitter handles. I am at Bernard_sports, at KShege_sports, and at Wilfred Bungei 2. That's where our handles are at. But now we are joined by another guest in the studio, and a lady who probably you've heard her name, especially in the off-season tournament, Koth Biro, but you didn't know the face. Or you probably just know about Polosa, whose other name is Paul, who always the one who's talking about the Koth Biro. But the person who actually drives the PR agenda behind there is Claret Adhiambo. She's here with us. Hi, Claret, how are you?
I'm fine. Hi,
Finally, very nice to get you here. We've talked to you on the Zoom link before about Koth Biro. That was last season, when very interesting things were happening at Koth Biro. Now, tell me something. Why do crazy things happen in Koth Biro? You remember last year?
Yes.
What happened last year?
Koth Biro happened.
It did. The tournament happened, yes.
Yeah,
but somebody disappeared with the football. Some Mweshimiwa came there and gave some money who people disappeared with. And then the tournament wasn't played. I don't know for what reason. They went to the Mweshimiwa's place to demand their prize money. What goes on sometimes at Koth Biro?
Let me give you some facts. No one disappeared with any money.
What happened? The money just disappeared on its own?
No, people became impatient, I guess. You know, Koth Biro, it's all about passion. Team za mtaa, kila mtu amekuja kushabikia timu yake ya mtaa. So KJ, you know them very well. They're very passionate and
so
people
what
who love football.
There was a
Mweshimiwa
who gave some money.
Tona ilikuwa sponsored na Mweshimiwa. He gave the money. No
See, this is the other thing about Koth Biro that I didn't warn you about. It must go to the talk of Mtaa. So it's gone down to Swahili, the one of Mtaa kabisa.
Yeah, so everyone is rooting for their Mtaa, like you said. So we have so many. I heard you were talking about the crazy names that we have at Koth Biro. They're names that are coined.
Some of the ones we could remember is 1000 Street, Mashtimu FC.
Mashtimu unajua story yao.
Give us some other names as well.
We have Koroges.
Koroges is a new one.
We had a team from Ziwani, Kaliwayaba.
Kaliwayaba?
Yes, it's coined. The names that are coined from, the teams are from Eastlands.
Okay.
The names that are coined from a lot of Sheng and so many.
A lot of meanings.
Things.
It's like when you see the Matatus
so
and you see Orokise, Sako or something like that, you have, Kileton or something like that, you have to find out what it means.
Yeah, and they're looking for uniqueness as well. That kind of sells in football. Yeah.
Okay, like I told you, Claret is the PR manager, so she manages the reputation of Koth Biro. So she totally doesn't want us to talk about how money disappeared last year, how some Mweshimiwa came and people fought over it and all that. And now she wants to talk about this year's Koth Biro, which has gotten to what stage now?
We are headed to the finals. We are about to play. We are supposed to play the number 3 game, which is supposed to be tomorrow. Third place. Friday. And then Saturday, tentatively, we are supposed to play the finals. We are supposed to have the final.
Why tentatively?
It's public knowledge that Koth Biro has been grappling in terms of financially. We've had some cash problems. We've had to halt the tournament for
at some point. Yes, actually before like the semi-finals, the tournament took a break. What was the problem?
Yeah, we have cash issues. Like you've seen, we have not had any single sponsor from when we started. The only money we've been operating from our pockets, organizers' pockets. We've only had a small shot in the arm from the Stare MP, and there's a sponsor, a very good friend of Koth Biro who had been supporting our previous tournaments, that are the sponsor who's made Koth Biro very successful, ordered some money from the 2019 tournament. So he came in and paid part of the debt. So we also had to pay suppliers, and right now we are also broke again. We don't have money to run to host the finals. So we are still looking for money, and we are hoping that Standard Group, our friends here, Scoreboard, will help us get to the finals.
We are already doing a lot, you know, by just giving you the forum. That if we were to quantify that,
I'm not disputing.
No. I'm trying to quantify it in terms of money as well. You know, that's already a lot. But your appeal is obviously getting to so many people. I see Capitano wants to say something here.
First and foremost, Claret, you know, congratulations for what you're doing. We have been talking about the Koth Biro in this show. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I am aware that Paul, mentioned about this challenge of financing.
Yeah.
Now, as the organizer, as the lead person, as the person that is in front there, haven't you thought of maybe, apart from waiting for Mheshimiwa or looking for sponsors, because what I know is, it is an inspiring story. We are aware that, this is a team that is coming from the, our
from the estates, you call it grassroots football.
We call it grassroots, because it's not only enough, to look at the politicians, but also at the same time, maybe to try and look at companies, that can be able to sponsor you, because we understand that, especially when you have a challenge that you cannot pay officials or even the prize money or for whatever it is it possible that you can be able to to work in a way to raise money?
Yeah, to answer your question, we've had a number of corporate sponsors. We've had GoTV sponsors, we've had SportPesa. There are a number of, even some betting firms have come in and supported us. We have a beautiful proposal here. We are also currently talking to other corporate sponsors. We are hoping that they will come through. Business is bad in Kenya right now. I think that's what is also affecting us. Politicians came, last year was a political year. So we know politicians, they love taking advantage, not taking advantage, taking chance and opportunity.
It's taking advantage of the situation. Yeah. It's riding on the
situation. Yes, we needed the money. We needed to run the tournament like we need it right now. And who will say no to money and to a good sponsor who's come in goodwill? But I would say yes, it's a good point. It's a good idea that you are asking us to look for corporate sponsors. We do have corporate sponsors. We've been sponsored by corporates before, and we're also still in talks. We're trying to push them. That's why we've had these lots of postponements of various stages in the tournament. That's why I'm also even saying that tentatively we might not be able to fund the finals. Yeah. So
what is worrying me more, Claret, is the fact that Kotbiero used to be an off-season tournament. That means it was played when the league is not on. Yes. But now it is being played when the league is also on. Now, previously, all the players of the Premier League would be coming back into Koth Biro, and that really gave the tournament a little bit of quality. But right now, with the league going on, are you getting the players actually to come back and play there, or now you're just making it another entire tournament?
We are getting players. We're getting good players because Kotbiero #1 is all about grassroots talent. We want to build the grassroots talent, and I can tell you, if you come down to Kotbiero, you'll see so many good talents. We have a boy who was even nicknamed Iniesta the other day because of his good dribbling skills. And it's not the disruption. First of all, came because of COVID. COVID disrupted the league. We are actually going on with our timetable as it has always been. We've not disrupted ours. Maybe it may act to our disadvantage in terms of visibility and getting the corporate sponsorships, but in terms of building the talents that we want from grassroots, I think these young boys who are supposed to play traditional play for Kotbiero, whose talents we're seeking to build, are also given a chance to shine. And we've had Kenyan internationals like Eugene Asike come to play and acknowledge that actually the talent right there at Kotbiero is worth building and worth investing in as a corporate sponsor and even as a company.
All right. Ken wants to say something.
Clara, thanks for coming. Now, Kotbiero is something literally we have grown up with. From when we were little kids growing up, we knew Super League ikiisha, we are going to watch Kotbiero. And over time, you must have built some brand of some sort.
Yes.
Over time, you must have built your structures and all. So don't you think maybe it's time you gave up those structures, go to government or to FKF, be an affiliate of them, let them do this for you, let them sponsor you. You guys just sit on the back lines and say, hey, look, as good Kenyans, we've done our bit. Let now the rest of it run. And they'll come in with their money, they'll come in with their structures, they'll come in with whatever it is. They are going to attract sponsorship, and they are going to give the tournament visibility, and those talents are going to be eventually collected and move up the ladder, which I believe is what you're
it's a good idea. We are welcoming you on board to come and share with us those ideas and walk with us the journey. Yeah, because running a grassroots tournament is not easy. But we are not also brushing off any ideas. We are welcome. That's why we are here, and we're so grateful for this opportunity and chance. And so please come and walk with us the journey.
I've forgotten about FKF and them having their own grassroots initiatives and all that. They would never put their money in another grassroots tournament. That's for sure. But I think what Ken is saying is maybe reinventing yourselves to make yourselves a little bit more attractive to corporates. And one of the questions that I want to ask you in regard to this is, I think last year there was a suggestion and a push to have the finals of Koth Biro played at City Stadium. And everybody resisted that. Why? Because if you're at the City Stadium or at Nyayo Stadium, then at least you've got a space for sponsor boards, you've got space for anybody wants to showcase their merchandise, anybody wants to make capital out of the event would turn up there. Why was there that pushback against that proposal?
I wouldn't call it a pushback. I would say probably it was not a push that we were ready for then, and we were not ready to make a huge mistake as such at that moment in time. But it was an idea that was welcomed. But last year, that moment in time, with the resources that we kind of had and maybe the timing, it was not so good for us. But it's an idea that we thought was also good. And knowing Koth Biro, there's a lot of investments, and it's about the fans who come to the event as well, and they feel they own actually the tournament, and except when it comes to cashing in, when it comes to the money, that's where they draw the line. But it was so many other things, and that idea was actually welcomed. The timing, probably when the suggestion was made, it was towards the tail end of the tournament, and maybe we were not ready, and we didn't want to make a blunder that probably would cost us. You
didn't want to take up. You didn't take a leap. You didn't want to take a leap of faith. You didn't want to take on something that you're not sure about.
We were being cautious.
Okay. Let me allow Capitano to say one thing, and then we move on now to the finals as well that is coming. Yes.
Yeah, sure. I think mine is just a last one. Have you thought of moving outside Nairobi, because we know this is, to borrow the Sheng language, Mtaani. Because I'm looking at the surrounding counties, Kajiado, Machakos, Kiambu, have you not thought of maybe expanding outside Nairobi?
That's a good question. And to answer that question, actually we had a good number. There was an increase in the number of the teams that registered.
For Koth Biro?
Yeah, for Koth Biro. We had more than 50 teams. Some were from Kajiado. We had a team from Nyeri County that wanted to play in the tournament. And I would say at least we had a team from Kiambu. We had 2 teams from Kajiado. There was the Senior United, and they played very, very well. And so we had, despite the bad publicity we had last year, we had more teams who were more interested.
Maybe they wanted to be part of that drama. Sometimes you want to be part of the mtaa, so maybe they wanted to be part of that drama. Now, it seems like then it is. Are you afraid at some point that Koth Biro will outgrow that venue where it is? Is there any proposal for anything?
Already it has outgrown the place. If you come and watched the game and the turnout, probably we would say, and from what happened last year, we had underestimated the crowds that would come to the finals. And it's about time that we embraced some of these great ideas you're giving us, and to help make Koth Biro a bigger tournament that is more sellable to corporates than it is right now.
In the good old days, they used to say that in Koth Biro, when the referee is officiating the game, there is a way in which the fans can get him to do what they want. So they can ask him a question like, the ball is obviously out for a corner, but they tell him now that's a penalty, okay, and show him some gadgets, and he agrees to give it as a penalty. What do you say about such important incidences?
First of all, there's no match fixing.
There's not match fixing. You can't call it match threatening. You can't call it match fixing. It's just coercing the referee to make a decision that you want.
And banters are things that happen in football, right? There's there. People do it everywhere, all over the world.
Those are banters.
Those are banters. Tunaita umta. Umta lazima kwe.
Is that part of the
kidogo.
attraction then in Kotbiero?
It's the part of the craze.
Okay.
And what is making Kotbiero probably famous, and what has held the tournament for all these years. More than 40 years running, and we're still here.
Now, this is a personal question. Unajua umta, watu wa mtaa ni wale watu wa mtaa. How did you end up being the wa mtaa in charge of Koth Biro?
Mimi demu wa mtaa.
How did you end up? Where is Polosa? Why can't he not be the one talking about this? Why have they left this to you? Okay, do you love what you're doing?
I do. It's passion, by the way. And for the record, I'm volunteering as a PR because I love the game. As in, you'd go to one game on Koth Biro and you wouldn't want to miss all the other games. It's all about passion. And when I was invited to come and play part and maybe give some of my technical skills, not football, not on the pitch, off the pitch, the PR part, what I could do, I gladly offered, and I'm proud to be. You see, it has brought me to Standard Group. You knew what this was. Yeah.
Now you're on
That's
TV.
That's the greatness of it. I'm on TV right now. Yeah.
Let's move to the game itself.
Okay.
Now we're in the finals. We're in the finals.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you watched a good number of games. What would you say about the standard of the game? What has impressed you about Kotbiero this year in terms of the game?
Discipline. We've not had any major incidents. For the record, the team that caused drama last time, we were very strict on discipline. We did not. They wanted, of course, to register, and we did not allow them. We suspended them. So this time round, we've not had any hitches rather, and the teams that are there are discipline and the passion. The fact that we've postponed the matches for all these days. I mean, World Cup came, we were already on, came and went, and people forgot about the World Cup, and we're still here. And these people are still very patient. The team managers, these young boys who are playing in the tournament, that tells you a lot about discipline and passion for the game, and the thirst to have great talent built. So I think that is what has amazed me so much in Koth Biro this year, and we are hoping that other people will see what we are seeing in Koth Biro and invest into the tournament and help it grow.
That's really a nice, passionate appeal as well. But how much are you looking at in terms of a sponsor who's watching now, who wants to be part of this? What are you looking for? Do you have categories of sponsorships, or what do you have?
We have the prize money. We have, that is the first team gets 300. Traditionally, when we have sponsored, they've always gotten 300,000. Even last year, 300,000, 150 for number 2, number 3. They get, I think it's 100,000 shillings, and we've had various rewards for MVP,
best player, top scorer, best goalkeeper,
exactly.
Best defender, and all that.
And then we're also big on security this year. We are big on security because we don't want a repeat of the incident, so we want to invest a lot in security. And there's also probably match officials who are supposed to be play the ball boys, the referees, the match comms. I would say we are looking at around 1 M for the finals only.
For just one match?
For just one match.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the prize money. The prize money is what is actually...
Okay, you've put the prize money into that as well.
Yeah,
that will take a chunk off
yeah.
it. So you're looking for about 600,000 then.
Yeah,
remove the prize money.
If you had
a different tier of sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
Claret, this is very good information. We wish you the best in the finals. We hope that we'll be able to know who has won in the finals as well without any drama. And of course, now we see why they chose you for that PR role, because you really have just changed everybody's perception of what Koth Biro is, actually. Well done, well done. Maybe you can help us go through what's going on over the weekend as well, because we're coming to the tail end of the show as well, where we look at the fixtures and what is going to happen over the weekend. I know there's a Kenya Cup Rugby that is going to happen over the weekend. There's also the Machakos Rally going on over the weekend. We have the Magical Kenya Golf that is going on at the Vipingo Ridge. And then we've got football matches as well going on.
Yes, the EPL is back after the FA break. Tomorrow night we have Chelsea versus Fulham. Saturday, the early kickoff, Everton with their new coach Sean Dyche is playing Arsenal, the league leaders. The other big game would be Man United versus Crystal Palace, whom they couldn't beat the other time. Wolves entertain Liverpool. Aston Villa host Leicester.
You got them there. Everton versus Arsenal at 3:30. That's the early kickoff. Yeah. The rest are at 1600, rather 1800 hours. But you're talking about Wolves versus Liverpool.
Yes, there is a Wolves versus Liverpool. Liverpool haven't won a match in several. Aston Villa, Leicester.
Please say that loudly, because you're saying it with such a meek voice. Why are you afraid to say it? Say it. Liverpool haven't won a match in the last what?
Few days.
Which team do you support, Clarence?
Manchester United.
You are a clever girl. You are a very clever girl. Yeah, you know, Liverpool fans are saying things in a very low voice. Okay. So the big one for you, obviously, will be Liverpool versus Wolves. For you, Claret, which one will be the big one? Manu is playing as well. They're playing.
Well,
United is playing Crystal Palace.
Playing Crystal Palace. Newcastle is playing West Ham.
Yeah.
Which one is big for you, Claret? Apart from the fact that you're a Manu fan, there's Everton, Arsenal, Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford, Southampton. Which one is big for you?
I want Arsenal beaten, so that would
Oh,
be
you want
big
Arsenal
for me.
beaten?
Yeah.
I told you you're a bright girl. Let's talk to Capitano here.
Of course, I'm looking forward to Everton and Arsenal. Arsenal to win.
Yes, to win.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like a tip on betting. These are big matches. Obviously, Everton versus Arsenal will be a big one because everybody wants to see whether Arsenal can still maintain the oomph they have. Manu have not been doing too badly recently. They're playing Crystal Palace, Brentford and Southampton. And then, of course, Chelsea have to be watched very closely. They're not performing as they should, but we'll see what happens in that. That's the EPL fixtures for the weekend. What else do you have for us, Ken?
Then we have KPL.
Kenyan Premier League
Is back on Saturday.
All right.
We have KCB Mathare. Kakamega
Mathare who lost 5-0 to the police.
Mathare looks like now getting relegated for real. Watch a last time. Then we have Homeboys, Kakamega versus Posta. Wazito, Sofapaka. Tusker not on a very good run. They host Kariobangi Sharks. We hope they can do better.
How did they perform the last time?
Tusker lost.
They did.
Lost last weekend 3-0 to Police.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
I told you there was a banter about the police arresting the drunkards, and then now the police again arresting the slum boys. Vihiga Bullets will be playing another match against Ulinzi. That's on Sunday now. Very sad story about Vihiga Bullets having played AFC Leopards at Nyayo Stadium in a midweek clash and then unable to get back home. That's not fair. I don't know who to blame for it. I don't know who should have been paying their fare back home, but at least they honored the match. And then something was going on to try to help them to go back. Bidco is playing the Police. Zoea Sugar will be playing FC Leopards. Now that's another clash of Western.
That's the match of the weekend, eh?
Yes, Zoea versus FC Leopards.
Are top of the charts, 3 points ahead of Tusker.
Well, FC has had quite some time. They played Gor Mahia, then they played Vihiga Bullets. Then now they're playing Zoea. All those are derbies that might be called Western derbies. True, Claret?
Yeah, true.
Who would you be rooting for in that one?
It's a hard one. I would go for FC Leopards.
You go for FC Leopards. Okay. What about you, Captain?
For me, I'll go for the Police.
Did you see that story? Ulinzi playing the Vihiga Bullets. Who's supposed to have the bullets in that one?
Well, of course, Ulinzi.
Is it the Ulinzi side or the Vihiga side?
It's superior Ulinzi.
Vihiga will be at home. That's what we'll be looking at as well. We have other fixtures, Ken, for us?
Yes, and the big one in Italy is happening on Sunday night at the San Siro. Inter Milan is playing AC Milan. AC Milan, the defending champions, not doing too well. Inter is the home team this time round.
Yeah, that's a derby. It looks like the weekend for derbies as well.
Yeah, Inter is second to Napoli, but yeah.
Which is your favorite derby, Claret? Around Africa, or maybe around the world?
In EPL?
Yes. Football. Or anywhere around the world? Which is your favorite one?
Of course, I would look at EPL. Is it... I love Man City, yes. Man City. I would say Man Arsenal, but no, Arsenal and Man is no longer derby.
What about
Man City for me?
Capitano, what about you? Because there are derbies all around the world.
Yeah, Juve, of course.
Juve.
Being an Italian. And of course Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There are many other derbies that goes on around Africa, and they're usually big. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates. You've got Ashanti Kotoko and Obuasi Godfields, Zamalek versus Al Ahly. You got all the derbies, the massively big derbies all around the world. But Gor Mahia and FC is still the big one here. And now we know what else will be happening on the weekend. Okay, so don't forget about the rugby as well. Kenya Cup Rugby is on. The Machakos Rally is going to be on as well, and the Magical Kenya Open will also be showing. And that should keep you busy over the weekend until we see you again next Thursday on another edition of the Scoreboard. Thank you for your company. And thank you for listening to Claret as well to make sure that the finals will be played this Saturday. True, Claret?
I'm praying and hoping that this interview works miracles for us.
Yeah,
I know it will.
If it does, you can call us miracle workers. Very much.
And you're invited to the finals, by the way.
You.
All of you will reserve very secure spaces for you guys.
I like the assurance. Very secure.
Very secure.
That's what we
Not
need.
just secure,
Yeah,
very secure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, we have to leave it there then. Thank you very much for keeping us company. You know when it's Thursday, it's the Scoreboard. We'll see you again next Thursday. Have a pleasant week.